couple of weeks ago, I went to this very Tesco and I bought the cheapest thing down every aisle of the supermarket. I am back and I am doing sort of the same thing, but with the most expensive item. This food shop in its entirety was really ridiculous. There are so many strange things here. We went for the most expensive food item, and the one thing we didn't do is when it is price per kilogram. I only wanted to get things that were a pre-marked price, no matter which one you pick up. Anyway, let's get started because I feel, judging from this shop, this is going to be less of a what meals can we make out of all of these ingredients. Why, there definitely are some meals that we can make, but outside of the rest of that, more probably going to be a let's try and taste and test these crazy expensive ingredients and see how they are and are they worth the money, I guess. Starting off in the vegetable aisle, we got these vegetable Asian greens for £4. On the other side of that aisle, and on one of the more reasonable prices of this entire shop, for £3, we got these mescalere vine tomatoes. The fruit aisle was next, and we got some light cheese for £2.50. On the other side, for £4.50, a fruit wedge platter. Gonna be nice and fresh, something tasty to have. A good amount of veg, decent veg, we're happy. But wait, that's not all, because in the next aisle, for £2.50, the most expensive broccoli I will ever buy, organic tender stem. On the other side of that veg aisle, inexplicably, there were nuts. The meat aisle was next, and we got loads and loads of chicken breast fillets for £9.95. It's a lot of chicken. On the other side of that, for £10.25, some Tesco Finest sirloin steaks. Now these better be the best steaks I have ever had. It's a lot of money. This shop is just adding up and up and up and up and up. I was self-scanning as I went round and I was starting to get pretty terrified by the entire price of everything. Next aisle along, we had this slow-cooked miso beef short rib for £8. Something that could go really well with the Asian vegetables, and I think that might be dinner tonight, so we're gonna do that. Opposite that was an Italian sharing platter for £6. Now this looks really nice. Like, I don't know what more you could do with this other than just eat it. But as I say, we're probably just going to be taste testing a lot of these things. Are they worth the money? Dairy aisle next, and on one side with the cheese, we got £6 a triple cheese bake. Other side, for £5.50, we got some fage, Greek yogurt, faye, it says on the side, it's pronounced faye. Okay, there you go. Next aisle, 4 kilograms of basmati rice for £6.95, and look how big this bag is. It's bigger than me. I'm gonna have rice for days, and it's great though, because there's definitely some rice dishes we can make with this. Did I really just say that? I meant with the shop and all, not, there's definitely rice dishes that we can make with rice. That would be weird. Opposite side of the same aisle for £4.55, Bovril beef extract. I was desperately trying to see if anything else on the side of the aisle was more expensive, but I'm stuck with Bovril. Next aisle along, I got a 6-pack of British whole UHT milk for £5.85. That's a lot of milk, gonna last me. Opposite side of that for £6.80, a giant tub of crunchy peanut butter. There's a good thing about this shop, like it costs a lot of money, but I'm gonna have things in bulk for quite a while, so swings and roundabouts, I guess. Next aisle was the gluten-free and breads aisle. And actually quite reasonably, for £3.49 was a gluten-free fajita kit. Now this is where the rest of the shop gets a bit wild. For £15, a pack of Naturia green super blend. I don't even know what this is. What is this? What does it do for me? Someone in the comments below tell me if you buy this, and why is it £15? £15! So for £16, we got a Tesco Finest blonde cake. Look at it. It's actually really beautiful. I hope this is tasty, but £16. £16. Do you see what I mean now? Like, a lot of these things aren't going to be meals. I'm not gonna turn them into meals. What am I gonna do? Ruin this lovely cake and turn it into some weird other meal and a cheesecake thing? No, I'm gonna eat it how it is, thank you very much. Opposite that were biscuits. And for £6.50, I got the Tesco Finest Luxury Belgian Biscuit Selection. Confectionery aisle next, and the most expensive thing was a Lindt Master Chocolate Collection. For £16. Last but not least was the freezer section. And actually, quite excitingly, for £8.90, we got some whole raw black tiger prawns. These things are massive. There's just 2 of them, I think, in the pack, but they are massive, and I'm really excited to have these. We are starting with the miso beef short ribs, which sound exceptional. And I'm actually really glad that we managed to get some Asian style greens to go on the side, because I feel like this is probably going to go really well together. We get in here this lovely thing and a sachet of sauce. I believe this goes on right at the end. Whoa, look at that. Do we break it apart? I don't know. If I'm not meant to, then I might have just ruined it. Who knows? Who knows? Let's just go like that and see what happens, shall we? Do you like the smell? Does it smell good? 20 minutes, and we do a little basty baste. Then I think we'll put the veg in, and yeah, hopefully this will be quite nice. Look at that beauty. So it says to baste, so we're just gonna suck these sauces up and baste all over. For £4, I don't think this is great. Let's really see what we're getting here, right? We do get our tiny sachet of black bean sauce. We have some pieces of courgette, some edamame, a couple of bits of onion, sort of some chili, and a little bit of broccoli. I mean, if you were making this yourself, probably a bit less than £4. You're probably paying just for the fact that it's all together already, and then a little bit of sauce. Smells amazing. £8 for the short rib, £4 for this. So for 2 portions, £12, £6 a portion. It's not awful, but it's not amazing. Let's go for it. Let's try it. It falls apart, which is a good sign. Here's our bit of short rib. That is actually fantastic. I mean, the chili jam on top of it is great. When you get a bit without the chili jam, you can taste the miso just all over it. As I say, I don't know if the veg is worth the £4, but let's try it. I mean, it is literally a bit of broccoli in a sauce. It's good, but is it worth £4? I'm not so sure. I think you could get all of these bits for cheaper and have way more. Would I buy the vegetables again? No, I wouldn't. Would I buy the short rib again as a treat? Maybe I would. The Lindt Master Chocolatier selection. They all look very fancy. Very, very fancy. I almost feel like I don't want to crack into it. But then this is me we're talking about, and we all know how much I love chocolate. So we're going to try a few. Start with the standard, shall we? A chocolate delight. A pretty little thing. That's class, that is. It's very much like your Lindt balls. It's like that creamy chocolate on the inside and just a nice hard Lindt coating on the outside. I mean, we all know that Lindt chocolate is exceptional, right? This is a almond and Gyanduja square. I have no idea what a Gyanduja is. Gyanduja. If any of you know, let me know in the comments below, because I'm intrigued, but let's try it. Definitely like a fruit or something, but I definitely get more of the almond than I do whatever the other thing is. I believe this one is the caramel. Here's the thing though, £16. This doesn't feel all that much different to a milk tray. And a milk tray is £5–6 or so. Is this worth a tenner more? Yes, it's Lindt chocolate, but no, don't think this is worth the money, and I don't think I would get it again. That does not mean I'm not going to eat it all, because I love chocolate and they're nice chocolates, but wouldn't buy it again. Happily accept it as a gift, but yeah, not going to spend £16 on this anytime soon. Is yogurt over £5 worth it? Obviously this is based on how large a tub it is, but it's still quite a lot of money for yogurt when you can buy a huge tub for like £1 and it's Tesco own value. I don't know if Fajitas is like, well, clearly is a premium yogurt, but I don't know if it's gonna like taste much nicer or much better than a lot of them, but it's nice and thick. Oh, that has a film on top of it. Look how thick that yogurt is. It's a very nice yogurt, I'll give them that. I don't think there's any world where I would see a big tub of yogurt for £5.50 and say, I'm gonna buy that. Now that does go alongside my fruit platter, summer edition, It's got a few bits of watermelon in it, a few bits of actual melon in it. This other orange melon, I don't know what the difference between these two melons are. I'm not a huge melon eater, so I don't know, let me know in the comments below. And then some pineapple. This is very, very nice for the summer. It is 32 degrees outside right now, and this for lunch, it's a nice refreshing thing. I mean, look, all of these things beg the question, are they worth £4? I know you can get an entire watermelon, or like Aldi, for £1.50, £2. I get 4 tiny measly little slices here. Yogurt and fruit, obviously definitely something I would buy. Would I spend £10 on it? No. I mean, it is very nice yogurt. Not just that though, and Carolina has already ripped and torn into these because she is a big fan. So for £2.50, we got some light cheese. Peel them. Now it's one of those fruits that has the pip in it, so you don't eat the pip, but fresh lychee. Okay, that is absolutely lovely. I could get behind these more often. And considering, in the best of times, you're buying a pack of apples for £3. You're buying strawberries or blueberries or raspberries for like £2, £3. This is a whole punnet, £2.50. Similar price range, something a little bit different, and really, really tasty. I'm gonna try this weird super blend powder stuff, which again, I'm really unsure of this. Apparently it contributes to my immunity, protection from oxidative stress, and muscle. Yeah, so it's good for maybe having before or after going to CrossFit. I'm gonna have it with milk because I don't have juice and I don't have smoothie, and obviously I have a whole lot of milk to use. It doesn't smell nice, and I don't think it looks nice either. Green milk. Smells absolutely atrocious. Yeah, go on then. It's definitely weird. I don't know if milk was the right thing to mix this with. I can see it being okay with like juice or something, but milk. I'll allow myself to have one of these every lunch for the next week or something, and I'll report back to you if like I feel any better or anything like that. Like, is my performance better? Do I getting ill? Do I feel protected from oxidative stress? Who knows? Oh, it smells great though. If anyone uses this, like genuinely, just let me know. Let me know what it's like. Let me know why. Let me know what you use it for. £15 as well. £15. I'm gonna have to have all of it because it costs so much money and I don't want it to go to waste. But you know, ugh.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
Fancy steak for lunch. It was like £10.25 for 2, so what, you'd call that £5.12, £5.13 for 1, which it's an okay price for a steak actually. I'm resting it as we speak, ready for, I was wondering what to do with this. So I'm actually baking the cheese bake at the same time. I'm not necessarily going to be making just a load of meals, shoving everything that we bought together and hoping that it makes some kind of amazing creative combination.
Everybody's so creative.
No, I'm going to use a few other things here and there to really make the most of these ingredients because they deserve it. Well, I got me a lovely sourdough here, so I'm going to make a steak and cheese. I don't want to just eat steak and broccoli, like that's boring. So the steak and cheese and a nice sourdough with a nice sauce or something that I've just got so many different sauces in my cupboard, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'll try a little bit of it individually and all of that as well. Really good, really, really nice. It's cooked a nice medium, which I think is nice for a steak sandwich, but yeah, let's just try a bit. That's a very nice steak. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. I think this is a great way to have a steak sandwich. It Smells amazing. The cheese is really, really nice. I know the steak's really nice. All I've added is a little bit of sauce and some bread. Here it goes. When I had this idea, this is exactly what I was hoping for. The cheese complements the steak so, so well, but the steak, it doesn't overpower it. The steak is still very, very much the start of the show. Cooked to perfection, seasoned really well. The bread and the sauce are a nice complement, but the cheese and the steak really, really shine through. Dinner today, I'm hoping, should actually be really lovely. Sure, it's all expensive stuff, but hey, gonna have the broccoli. Maybe not all of it, because there's quite a lot, but we're gonna have the broccoli. Out of these giant chicken breasts, we're gonna have one each, which I figure I'm gonna stuff with some of the cheese from the sharing platter. I'm gonna wrap it in some of the prosciutto. I'm then going to cut up the olives, sort of make a sauce with those and some of the tomatoes, and even some of the cheese that we got left. Make a nice sort of cheesy, tomatoey, olivey sauce to go with that. Right, so an issue I'm having with this ham is it doesn't really like come apart properly. So it's hard to wrap the chicken in it, albeit impossible. It's kind of just like making it look a bit pretty-ish. You see what I mean? But I mean, even so, they're gonna be nice. Tesco Finest tomatoes. These are like triple the price of a normal tomato, like a pack of cherry tomatoes. We better be able to taste the difference. I mean, it's a nice tomato. Don't think they're worth 3 times the amount though. We're gonna add some of our nice melty cheese. I think this is already inspired. What's the difference between normal broccoli and organic broccoli? Or what's the difference between normal veg and organic veg? I don't actually know. Enlighten me, folks. I actually have no idea. Call me dumb, but I have no idea. Will it taste better than normal broccoli? I don't know. So there you go, a dish made literally entirely only from the ingredients that we got, nothing more, other than some garlic powder. But the sauce looks really good. I think adding some cheese to it was definitely a good idea. I love broccoli, so it tastes good, but that tastes no different to the normal 10-stem broccoli that you buy. Anyway, the chicken. Chicken's nice, the ham around it gives it a nice little crunch. The cheese on the inside did actually melt a little bit. And if you have my sort of tomatoey, olivey, cheesy sauce with it, oh, that's really nice. The cheese sauce is so, so nice. All of this complements really, really well. Happy Sam, happy dinner, but I am stuffed now, so I'm gonna need to go for a long walk to walk it all off. Lunchtime, and it's time for the gluten-free fajita kit, which, I mean, let's be real, we all know what's in a fajita kit. Wraps, seasoning, and salsa. I'll make a couple of wraps. You don't need to see all of that. It's easy enough. See you in a sec. This is the challenge that just keeps on giving. They look good, they look all right. Now they might, I guess, they're a little small. The tortillas it gave me were tiny, but I'm not complaining too much. I mean, it's just the chicken, the salsa, and the wrap. With obviously the seasoning. I think it's a mild barbecue seasoning. I would prefer spicier, but so that's all they had. Not had a gluten-free wrap before, but let's dig in. The wrap's fine, to be honest. Maybe tastes a little bit floury in comparison to the normal ones that Old El Paso do, but yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's not bad. The salsa's tasty and there's plenty of it left. Chicken, cooked well. The seasoning's really nice. I don't tend to buy fajita kits anymore, or even fajita seasoning packets. Much easier and more cost effective to just make your own. Buy the chicken, buy whatever veg you're gonna have inside, buy your wraps, Bob your uncle. Cheaper than buying one of these kits, that's for sure. Would I buy this again? Probably not. It's a good little lunch though. From one luxury chocolate set to a luxury Belgian biscuit selection, I've kind of lost track of how much everything costs at this point. I think this was £6.95, £7, something along those lines. I'm wondering how it compares to the M&S one that you get a lot at Christmas that costs like a £5 or something. But these look good. Look at them. There's roughly 3 of each. I won't lie, these do look like they need to go in the fridge, especially in the kind of temperatures that we're having. Pretty little biscuit. It's a very nice biscuit. It's a good biscuit, well made, good crisp, good crunch, but at the same time it could just be any biscuit covered in white chocolate. I feel like we have to try the caramel ganache, a biscuit covered in chocolate, filled with a salted caramel apparently. Again, it's good. Don't know if it's $6.95 good, but it's good. Just ran out of battery there on my main camera, but we're gonna round it out with a praline pearl. I was not expecting that. Really, really, really nice, like praline-y cream in the top. I think these are slightly more worth the money. Close to £5 would have been good for these. As like a treat selection. Again, I don't think I would buy this. If someone bought it for me for Christmas, or, you know, maybe I wanted to buy some fancy biscuits at Christmas, they're good, and I'll see what they're going for. But it's not something I would just buy on the fly. I'd rather like a 30p, 40p box of bourbons, you know. There's a couple of main things that we're going to be cooking with for this evening, which I'm really excited for. I've never prepared these before, or big prawns like this, but we have our whole raw black tiger prawns. On top of that, I've got some rice on already from our giant bag of rice, finally using rice. And our other main ingredient is going to be peanut butter. Now on top of this, I'm only using a couple of other ingredients just to make a really nice dish. We're going to be using a bit of coconut milk, some curry powder, some crushed chilies, and a spring onion, maybe a drop of lime. The very first attempt, I think that's pretty good. Peeled and washed, deveined, they look beautiful. We're going to use this to make a nice satay sauce, which I thought was a good use for some whole earth crunchy peanut butter. I mean, worth trying it as it is, right? It's nice and thick. It is some good peanut butter, and that's going to last me for a long, long time. Good way to use these tiger prawns, I think, or at least I hope. I know the sauce is nice. I tried that as I went along. Lovely with a bit of rice. That peanut butter does get thick though, and it keeps thickening up, so I kept having to add things like water or milk just to thin it down. But I think we got it to a good consistency altogether, and it has made a really nice sauce. Now the prawns I'm excited by. Not much else to say. I'm just excited by them. Definitely like the freshest prawns I've had from home. Funny that, because they were frozen, but you know, I'm not one who goes to a fishmonger or someone who, you know, we basically buy raw prawns when we do buy prawns. But never the big ones, always the small ones, but these, they're really tasty, really, really fresh. I mean, it was 7 for £8.95. That's a lot of money. I think I would do it again, already after eating one. I think I would do it again, but I just wouldn't do it all the time. Maybe like once in a blue moon on a nice occasion, on a date night, anniversary, something like that. For just everyday use for an everyday supermarket shop, probably not. Just a couple of things left to try, really. We'll start with the hickory smoked nut selection. I'm not a huge fan of nuts outside of nut butter, which is why I've kind of left these to last, and I didn't really know what I could do, you know, to cook with them, and oh my god, these are impossible to open. They smell all right. Again, I'm not the huge, big fan of nuts, but hey. I take back literally everything I've just said. These are beautiful. Although, 30 grams is 187 calories. Why are nuts so calorific and so full of fat? Honestly, so these are beautiful. Especially the macadamias and the almonds. Right, last thing to try now I know you can make a broth out of it, but I'm not actually in a position to make a broth right now. I don't want to make a broth just for this, but I know, and I've heard people do it, I've seen people do it. People do have this on toast. Probably not without butter. I hate Marmite, hate it. Hate Vegemite, hate it. And I feel like this is very, very similar. Ooh. I've never tried Bovril before because I don't like Marmite and I feel it's gonna taste an awful lot like that. So I'm just gonna spread it on one corner of this. Bottoms up, guys. Absolutely not.